All right, I'm gonna get going here. I want to thank everyone who's here now. You ideally do see me on the bottom left hand of the screen. I'm only showing that for a moment to prove that I'm not a llama. My name is Michael Lamarca. I'm a customer experience advocate here at monday.com. When y'all write into the chat and are unsure of how to do something, or if something's a bug, it's usually someone like me or my wonderful colleagues who are responding to you. So you might notice that you're not in a Zoom room right now. We are currently in the Monday Mansion, which is monday.com's answer to providing a new way for companies around the world to host and engage with their audience in online events, such as these webinars, such as our Earth Day event that we had a little while ago, so on and so forth. So we've got a couple of my wonderful colleagues here that are going to be in the chat, that are going to be helping you guys with any questions you might have about monday.com, any questions you might have about the new features we're going to run through in just a moment. Again, if you guys are having issues with audio, with visual, with anything in this mansion, please let them know in the chat, which can be found on the bottom left side. I did not even introduce them by name, so let me get to that. You will see that some helpers named Shannon Tao, Lamia Raman, and Jameson Henson are the ones that'll be helping me out today. So if you can all guys just say hello to those three wonderful colleagues that we have here. They are integral to how this next 45 minutes or so is going to go. So let's just be extra nice to them, because they are doing a great service for you guys and for me as well. If at any point we don't get to all of your questions, there are a good amount of you. If we don't get to your question, please go ahead and check out community.monday.com, which is where you can post questions or feature requests. It's also where other people are posting questions and feature requests. So your question or feature request might have already been answered in the Monday community. Otherwise, if we can't get to you, you can always, of course, write into email at support.monday.com. Tell them that Mike sent you. Make sure to leave a CSAT for my colleagues. We, that's how we feed. That's how we eat. We get those CSATs, and it makes us feel good. So yeah, after today's webinar, you'll all receive a CSAT. And more importantly, what we want from this is feedback on the mansion experience. So you'll see, I believe there's a little feedback, what do you call it, pillar on the right-hand side, right by the bottom right where it says Monday Work Management. Feel free to use that form. It's specifically for the Monday Mansion. And yeah, before we dive in, because I promise we will do that eventually, before we dive in, I want to provide you guys with an overview and agenda of the new features. So here's your first look, I think, of what we're going to do. Here's our agenda right here. I imagine we all can read, but I'll also say the words. So we'll be covering faster board views, improved widget performance, custom fiscal year start, a new sub-item automation choice, password-protected forms, automatically refresh dashboards, supporting multiple y-axes on the dashboard chart, all things AI, and by that I mean some things AI, and by that I mean 4 things AI, new shapes on Canvas, a new invite logic to Canvas, the app of the month, which I will spoil for you guys, and which you will spoil because you're reading what I'm reading. It's called Triggerly, and then whatever time we have left will be left for a Q&A. So that is our agenda right here, right there. And without further ado, we're going to jump into some new features. So give me one moment as I turn my camera off. So hope you guys got a good look while you could. And let me share a different screen with you. Okay. Hopefully everyone's seeing everything just okay. Ideally, you're seeing a Monday board. I think we're all fairly familiar with what these guys look like. So yeah, let's walk through some new features. We're going to see some examples of how to use them. We're going to show some workflows, ideally. We'll start with features, which are improvements to our boards ourselves. So you'll notice from the first agenda, we're going to first cover faster board views. So whether you're new to the platform or an experienced veteran, you should be super excited about this update because all it is a faster board view experience. Specifically, with our new data engine, MondayDB, the onus of storage is on Monday. It's not your computer. While it's difficult to show the differences live, it'll be easy to feel the difference in how your many item boards perform, specifically when looking at your board's data using our many board views. So talking about Gantt, if you have a lot of items, in the past it may have run slow, but because of MondayDB, you're going to notice it's moving even faster. As we introduce this new feature, which is specifically about fast board views, it is helpful to keep in mind that we are still working on making this as quick and great and fantastic for you guys as we possibly can. But in the event that it is running slow, it is possible you just have too many items. So I suggest filtering out items you might not necessarily need. And then this would essentially decrease the load of data and quicken things up. So can't really demonstrate that guy because it's kind of the nebulous, it'll move faster. So in this case, I hope you, take my word for it. And next, we're going to cover Monday Workdocs, an improved widget performance. So similar to the thing I just said about MondayDB quickening things up for our views, this is kind of the same idea here. When you go into Monday Workdocs, and if you've not used Monday Workdocs, it's basically just our way to take notes on something, to bring in data from different places on your Monday account. Let me show you guys that you could, if you didn't know, you can add a widget. And because of MondayDB, that widget's going to run much faster than it used to. So if you didn't know we could do widgets on this, then this is your first foray into this. If you knew it and you thought it was a bit slow, well, you're in luck. It won't be anymore. So yeah, again, we have MondayDB to thank for this. We'll see greater performance, specifically in how quickly the widgets load into the document. So now that those first two features are over, we can move into some more observable differences in the Monday platform. The first that I'm going to introduce, I'm specifically excited to introduce because I was just working with a user on getting this feature on their account a couple weeks ago. Andrea, if you're out there, this one's for you. Like I said, the feature was going to come soon. I didn't even know how soon it would come, but it's here. So historically, our Gantt chart has only supported fiscal year beginnings in the month of January. For y'all keeping track at home, January is the first month. That's a bit strict, right? Our devs agreed. You'll see from what I'm demonstrating here that now, whatever your favorite month to start a fiscal year is, you can start it in that month. So this is specifically helpful, of course, if your fiscal year begins in any other month than January. So if you're working for a school, if you're working for a travel agency, I imagine you might have a different fiscal year start. I had it start in February before, which I think was just what my previous employer did to keep things, fresh, keep us on our toes. So yeah, that is the new fiscal year start month. Super easy to demonstrate. And it's really just a way to give a bit more flexibility to when your fiscal year starts. The next feature, which is a continued effort to bring more functionality to sub-item-based automations, our developers added the empty sub-item column condition. So you'll see here I'm demonstrating in my board. I'm going to my automations. I'm going to add a new one. You'll see I cheated a bit. I'm not doing this all off the cuff. I did prepare some stuff, but I'm just going to show you this part really quick. So when status changes to whatever, or actually let's make it a sub-item status that changes to whatever. And then here's where the new thing is, column is empty. Now that's not new, but what is new is that we can indicate if there's an empty sub-item column. So choose any of those, it'll work just great. I've got this preset and you'll see why. For those not familiar though, with our custom automation builder, it allows you to build your own complex automations. And now when you're adding sub items into the mix, you're able to add a bit more granularity to your workflows as sub items. If you're not familiar, they can have their own column structure. So you'll see in my parent item, I have 2 columns, just a person, just a status. And then when I drop this guy down, it has its own thing. So that's unique to the sub item. Parent item, relationship. So yeah, I'm going to show off an example now for anyone that is on a marketing team. I do apologize that I don't have better vocabulary. I was writing this at night. My brain wasn't all the way there, but I'm sure there's a better word for push next to marketing. It is what it is. Let's jump into it. That's probably not the important part of what I'm going to show you. So we've got our landing page and blog post. And if you're a marketer, you might want a file when you have a blog post so that you can review it, edit it, publish it. So what my automation is going to do is when sub item arrives, and if sub item is not done, because we want things to be done because we do stuff. And if sub item files is empty, which just really speaks to the thing not being done, we're going to notify someone. So yeah, that is a automation condition that wasn't previously available. So now if the sub item file is empty and the status is not done, you'll see a notification. Let's see if I have it, and I don't. That's okay. Tried to make it nice for you guys. But yeah, this file is empty, and now we can prove as such. Okay. Perfect. Thank you guys for sticking with me. Also, if you've just joined, we are doing the first ever webinar in the Monday Mansion. If you have questions, there's a chat box on the bottom left. I've got 3 wonderful colleagues that are solely focused on answering your questions and helping me out. So let's put our hands together, or our hooves, or whatever, for them. The next thing I'm going to show you does not live on this board. We will be traveling to my webinar dashboard, where I've got a couple things to show you, and they will be fragmented. So the first thing I want to show, I'm super stoked about. It brings me back to my sales days when every phone call was tracked, every prospect prospected was tracked, and all of that data was showing up on a TV screen. So what I'm talking about is we do have now a new feature that automatically refreshes dashboards, specifically those that are being broadcasted to TVs. Monday.com broadcasts all our stuff to our TVs. And you will see here a new little, it looks like a rewind feature, but it's just automatic refresh. You can do it every 15 minutes, 30 minutes. You see all the options here. So whereas in the past, all of this data was being reported from a static point in time, you can see now that you can refresh your data for the most up-to-date data you could need. Of course, this works, like I said, specifically well for teams that are broadcasting data to televisions. While I was writing this, watching this feature, I really had sales teams in mind. But if you're broadcasting data, it is going to be broadcast it whenever you want, however often you want. So I do have one more dashboard, but you know what? I'll let you guys wait for it. What we're going to cover next is a pretty huge feature for work forms. So if you're not yet used to work forms, I highly recommend checking it out. It's an amazing building block for bringing in data seamlessly from outside of your account directly into your Monday boards. So you'll see there are these columns. They link directly to my table. So all the answers that are made here are going to come here. And what is the new feature? Why do I keep waiting so long when I introduce things? The new feature is that these work forms can now be password protected. So you'll see when we go into the editing part and we customize it, we've got all these wonderful options. And I am specifically referring to form restrictions. So you come down here, you can password protect your form. I'm going to go ahead and show you something. Here's the password. Don't you dare. And yeah, so this is a new feature, guys. If you are looking to be a bit more selective about who is answering your form, you now have that ability. Let me see if there's anything else I was hoping to say for this. Yeah, just feel free to share your form far and wide, knowing that you've got safety in who will be contributing. You've got a little bit more knowledge, a little bit more control over what kind of data is going to be pulled into your Monday board, and we know how important it is to have that control. You can find this feature along with a couple others that are in the form restrictions tab of our forms, specifically the show reCAPTCHA, adds more security, and then requires submitters to log in. That basically just means folks that are in your Monday account will be the only ones that can submit forms. So that's super great. And then let's move back to my dashboard. I did tease that we would be back, and I didn't know how quick we would return, but we're here. So the final reporting update for these dashboards is just really a subtle update to an existing feature. Now, prior to today, we would be able to support multiple series when your data comes from a single board, but we weren't supporting multiple series with multiple boards connected to the chart widget. And that's until today. So now notice our multiple series support when connecting multiple boards using the new column info. So I'm going to jump in. I used a line graph to show this off. When we go to the y-axis, we'll see it does support multiple y-axes, even though these columns are coming from multiple boards. So this is just, if you're comparing multiple boards with multiple data points, it was previously a bit more difficult, and our life's mission is to make things not difficult. So now you can do it. So that is great. So this is an exciting new stuff to improve a pre-existing functionality. But guys, would we be at a tech company's webinar if we did not spend some time on AI? I'll answer that because no one else can talk. Yes, I mean, no. No, we wouldn't be at a tech company's webinar if we didn't cover AI. So guess what? I'm gonna do it. We've got a quartet of new AI-based features. The first one of which I will discuss is the AI template feature. Now, like our standard templates, which let's just pretend we don't see this because it's a spoiler. I'm gonna scroll down. Okay, like all these other templates, it is a pre-built set of boards that are already making use of the various AI blocks you'll learn about next. That is what the AI-powered templates are. Let's open it up, see what is available to us. Before I go further, let's take a look at these guys. Are any of them calling out to you? Where are our salespeople for the SDR assistant? Where are our IT folks for this support IT ticket processing template? I mean, I think this is a great start for our templates. And if you agree, put it in the chat, say which one you want to see. I do want to, I guess, break some hearts here and say I've already chosen one that I will be using for the rest of the demonstration. But I love to hear from you guys, and so do my colleagues. One more thing, this is just the first wave of templates that are coming through. If you feel left out, don't worry, there are new templates on the way. I wrote down that I will choose support IT ticket processing, but I've already chosen it. So just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page. I don't want to lie to you guys. I would never lie to a llama's face. So let's go into it. We've got our AI templates here. Let me just walk through it really quickly. It opened up to a form. That's great. But yeah, you'll see this is pre-built. So just for an example of what can be done, and I will, of course, show in greater specificity what can be done and how to do it. But you'll just see from even these pre-built form responses, Emily Johnson, hey, I'm sorry, I don't speak this language, but it doesn't even matter because the robot does. So it can translate it. Oop, don't want that there. It can show you the urgency based on the request type, all sorts of stuff, sentiment, which is fun. This is my favorite, a TLDR, because who doesn't hate reading? A suggested reply, which is fantastic. What is it even? Yeah, craft a personalized response. It can do that. That's exciting. Original language reply, because they might not be able to speak English. So you want to, of course, put things in their language. Anyway, these are all the things that it can do. I will, again, like I said, show it in greater specificity in just a moment. But what I did want to talk about specifically is the AI translate feature that came with this template that comes with all of your AI related needs and wants. So yeah, the AI translator is you're basically your own personal translator, like I showed here, to understand any request. So here we've got a work form, and with it, a request that wasn't in English. You'll see here what happened with it. Just for the purposes of this, let me put a little something something in here. One moment, folks. Thanks for your patience. All right, if you don't know Italian, that's a-okay. It doesn't matter. And then I'm going to kind of jump the gun here and put a little something here to show off AI sentiment. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And yeah, I guess I really did just tease the next feature, which is AI sentiment. Also, if you're not familiar with how forms work, I just did a thing. It came in here. Yeah, so that's cool. Anyway, AI sentiment with this feature, and let me scroll over to it so you can see what I'm talking about. With this feature, you can automatically define sentiment for a chosen text column. This is a text column. You don't need a special like AI text column. You just put a text column in here, and then with the AI feature, you just autofill it with whatever it is you want to autofill it with. Anyway, back to sentiment. It can help you analyze text that is coming automatically into your board via a request, email, whatever, letting you judge what needs addressing and maybe the tone of voice you use when you do address it. You get a negative email, maybe you don't want to, poke the proverbial bear. You want to be extra gentle with that negative email. We're moving on. Great. So the next and final AI-based feature I wanted to discuss, and that is AI action. So you'll see here the TLDR. I think that's a phenomenal example of it. So that's a translated request. All right, I was wrong. Not a phenomenal. A good one, not a phenomenal one. This is a good one. Custom action. As an IT support representative, craft a personalized response addressed to the individual. Item name using only their first name. Okay. One other thing I want to bring up, maybe it's not integral to the usage. I think we should be nice to the robot. You know that they're coming for our jobs and maybe, our government. I don't know. But yeah, there it is. And that's the action. And then I'm going to show you guys basically from the form how we can use that stuff ourselves. So we'll scroll all the way to the end. Let me bring the llamas back into the screen so I see what you're seeing. You'll see all of these come from the form. And then here we go. Here's our Italian sentence. And then here it is translated. Where's the cat hiding now? Dove si nasconde ora il gatto. So that's fantastic. And then I typed in he's furious into this text box. And this test sentiment is reading the sentiment of it. Obviously, he's furious doesn't mean anything good. So it's negative. So that's our sentiment. That's our translator. They're working great. They don't get paid. So let's be nice to them. And then you'll see here in this text, I'm going to show the actions that are available. I put a pretty simple one in. Please combine the test and the new text box columns. We apply that. Ideally, for the purposes of this webinar, it worked. And we'll find out when it stops loading. And I wonder at what point my patience is tested, and I wonder if I just click X. But we'll give it a moment. I'll take a drink of water. All right, I shouldn't have brought up the pay thing. I think this AI is striking, but that's all right. Anyway, it worked. It combined the two. Where is the cat hiding now? He's furious. That's a terrifying sentence. We all know what cats are capable of. But yeah, guys, that's AI. That's AI as it pertains to Monday's new features. I do imagine there will be more AI stuff being released. Our devs are working super duper hard on that specifically. So a hand for the devs. Now, I'm just going to pause. Guys, if you are just joining us, welcome to the Monday Mansion. We are doing our first ever webinar in the mansion. So feel free to leave questions, comments, requests for hats for the llamas in the bottom left chat box. You can customize your llama, do all sorts of fun stuff. Yeah, guys, that was AI. That was probably my favorite part of what the new features will be, just because there is just so much flexibility on what can be done with the AI. It's like a formula, but you can do words instead of numbers, and no one likes numbers. So we're going to move away from AI, unfortunately, but there's a lot of, or not a lot of, there's a couple more great updates left. And this next great update I'll discuss, it gives a bit more agency in how admins can manage and view their account's marketplace integrations. I'm specifically referring to the new connections tab in the admin section. So I'm going to move on to a personal / not Monday wide account, just so I can show you what admins are capable of. As important as I'm sure you all think I am not an admin of the Monday account, but I am of Mike's account. So I'll go into my administration section very quickly and show you where to find the new connections tab. For y'all that memorize things, that have photographic memory, you'll notice this might look out of place because it's new, between security and billing. So we'll click into it, go to connections, and then now you'll see, as an admin, all the connections here. If you do have third-party, marketplace apps that are connections, I'm thinking Auto Boost, I'm thinking Column Magic, that'll show up here as well. So now let's jump back into the Monday account I was on. Oh, sweet. It went right to where I wanted it to go to. All right. So that's cool. Don't worry if you're not an admin, you still do have some ability to see what connections are being made, except you're only able to see the native integrations. So think of Slack, think of Gmail, and what you need to do is go to your automation center, and then go to connections, which again, this is new. So maybe it's setting off phasers in your where are things brain. It's here. And I think that's great. I think it gives you a lot of agency over to see, because I've had tickets in the past where it's like, I'm getting a lot of automations, a lot of integration activity. I don't know what board it's on. I don't know what's happening, and I don't know when. Well, this answers those questions, along with some others that I probably can't think of right now. So yeah, that's that. The next couple of features I'm going to discuss, they are specifically targeted at the Canvas product. So we're reaching the end of Monday's new features. Guys, thank you for joining. We're almost done. You can almost be free from hearing me talk about things that are sometimes, or rather mostly relevant, sometimes not so much. The final feature update that we'll discuss about Canvas, or rather the first feature update we'll talk about Monday's Work Canvas product, is it's a whole new bunch of shapes that you can use for it. So give me one moment. I'll click over to the Canvas page. Okay, so basically, if you're just not familiar with Canvas, it's a product by Monday, allows you to brainstorm, plan, and visualize any workflow or project on a whiteboard connected directly to your Monday account. So like I said, we've got, shout out Great Wolf Lodge, just front and center on this presentation. That was one of the templates we have. What a great establishment. So yeah, we previously had 6 available shapes. To name a couple: square, circle, triangle. Now we've got 50. I can't even name, who can name 50 shapes? I can't. With this addition, users now have more ability to create any thought model or flow. Obviously, in Canvas, a lot of these different shapes might mean different things depending on your workflow, depending on what you're brainstorming, etc. So now you just have a lot more ability to customize your Canvas product, and just to get more stuff done, get more different stuff done. And then the final update to Work Canvas, if you're already using Work Canvas, we've got a new system to invite folks, which just matches the other Monday products like work management and CRM. In the past, admins were the only ones able to invite users to their Canvas account. With this new update, members of the Canvas account can invite others of the same email domain. So that's a pretty important caveat to this. Admins will still be the only ones that are available to invite folks of different email domains. So think your guests, think maybe your viewers. But now, if you're a member, let's say Mike at monday.com, now, whereas in the past you couldn't, now you could add someone like John at monday.com. So that's what we mean by the same email domain. If you have questions about that, I would again love to plug the chat in the bottom left, and they'll answer what a same email domain is if that is a question you have, which is a totally valid question. Ultimately, this update is helpful in allowing more collaboration in the product. Additionally, just to be clear one more time about this, because I think it's important to be super clear about it, admins will still be the only users who can invite members of different email domains to the account. So yeah, guys, we did it. That is all of the features that are specifically targeted at monday.com. So I'm going to take a moment before we discuss the app of the month, which I did already tell you what it was, but maybe you didn't write it down and you don't have access to the slideshow. So it's like a surprise all over again. So just give me one moment to take a drink of water, pull up the Triggerly. Oh, and I just spoiled it. Give me one moment. Guys, thanks for your patience. I am just pulling up the Triggerly website, or rather the Jetpack Apps website for Triggerly. Also, that's the app of the month. I realized I was trying to be coy about that. I'm not a coy person, just can't be coy. But Triggerly is the app of the month. Just while I'm still waiting, guess I'll show something on the screen. Triggerly is the app of the month. With it, you can quickly create QR codes that can trigger predefined actions, automatically update team members, or even save files to your board. Okay, I need to pull something up. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pull a static YouTube video, which does, demonstrate Triggerly. We're just dealing with a little audio situation here, so I won't be able to play the video, but I could put it right in the chat. I'm gonna do that. Okay, guys, that is the Triggerly demo that you'll watch. If you love creating QR codes, if you love updating team members based on QR codes, I'm thinking in the field that would work. That is not only because there's a man in an orange vest on my screen. I thought of it myself and then I looked up, I promise. But yeah, we know this app is great in the field. There is a free version that can operate on one board. If you do think that Triggerly, based on what little information I've given you, if you do think that Triggerly can help your team, give it a go. It's free on one board. What is the harm? All right, folks, we did it. We've completed the demo portion of our session. We're going to move into Q&A shortly. I'm going to take a few minutes break before diving in, just so I can drink a bit more water. Hydration is important. While you're waiting, maybe you get some water. And yeah, you give me one moment. Thanks again. All right, folks. So I did see one question that I thought would be nice to answer. It is about the work forms product. Specifically, the question was, can someone external to your account submit a form? That is totally doable. You'll see here you can copy the form link, get a QR code. We were just discussing QR codes. You can embed it into different places, share it via Twitter, Facebook. Oh, that's got to change. That's X now. Not important. Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. When you edit the form, you can specifically indicate no, only want folks internal. And how you would do that is go to form restrictions and require submitters to log in. Or hey, password protection. That's a new feature. We talked about that. So yeah, you can kind of go either way with it. If you just want, to put this form up on your website, to fill out, for example, a contact form that they can talk to you and get some freelance work. I don't know what you people do. You could put that form into your website, have no password on it, have no requirement. That's a better word. Have no requirement for submitters to log in, and then folks external can absolutely complete your form, add some information, put some stuff on your board, take some of your time. And that's what we all want out of life. People taking our time. Hope that answered the question. Hope I understood it correctly. And I'm going to look for another one now. Okay, so I don't have anything to show for this. I did see someone had asked how to get access to the AI features. I saw my colleague Lamia already answered the question very effectively, but I did just want to say it with words just so that we're all on the same page. There is a form that you would need to fill out to have the AI features applied to your account. I'm sorry, I don't know if there are any specific requirements or restrictions based on it. But what I do recommend you do is write into support at monday.com. And then, yeah, we will be able to help you out with that. I just got word that I wasn't on the right screen. That's on me, guys. That's an easy fix. So now we're back on my demo account. And just to go back to what I talked about forms, I'm not going to do all the words again, but yes, you can share it externally. You can copy form link. Here's where you can copy it, QR code, all that good stuff. If you do want to restrict people, we can use the new feature we discussed, which is the password protection under form restrictions. Here you go. You could require submitters to log in. That would be another way to restrict it. But if this is unchecked and you just copy the form, then whoever wants to answer your form can do so with absolutely zero blockades. So yeah, that's that. I'm going to look for another question. Hopefully what I said was clear. I know that I didn't really show the forms when I first explained it. If you'd like a longer explanation again, I'm happy to do it. Y'all, we do have 5 or so minutes left. Just want to make sure we're all clear about that. I know on the East Coast we got some lunch hours coming up, and lunch is very important to many, many people, so I thought I'd just bring it up. I'm seeing that links don't work in the chat. I did know that before sharing it, and I am sorry for forgetting it when I did share it. It looks like one of my colleagues did write out the name of the video for you guys. I'm sure you can just Google Triggerly demo and it'll pop up, but if you'd like to be more specific, to our wonderful friend Google, you could type in what I believe Lamia shared, um, which is, or rather Shannon shared it, which is demo-monday.com, QR code inventory and asset tracking with Triggerly. That is the name of the video. Again, it's demo-monday.com, QR code inventory and asset tracking with app of the month, Triggerly. So thank you again to my colleagues, Shannon, Lamia, and Jameson. You're doing a really good job answering everything. I hope that the audience, my audience of llamas, is grateful for my friends here. It's only silent now because I'm looking for another question to answer. Guys, thank you so much if you're participating in the chat. We love the audience feedback, not just about the mansion itself, which you could do the feedback form at the bottom right where it says Monday Work Management. There's a pillar. It says feedback. It leads you right into the form for mansion. Yeah, just gonna look for some questions. Seeing some folks want to use mansion for their own purposes. I don't think you know how happy that makes my devs to hear they're working super hard on making this a nice platform, interactive, and all that good stuff. So if you like the mansion, please fill out the feedback form. If you don't like the mansion, there is no feedback form. That was a joke. If you don't like the mansion, there is a feedback form, and we'd love to hear about it. Where can we send feedback? So there is there's a form in the Monday Mansion where you can leave feedback. There are these 3 lines essentially. I'm trying to describe it. It says feedback in pretty big text to the right of the presenter, screen. Yeah. Guys, as we're winding down, I do just want to thank you again for joining us in the mansion. This was an exciting experience for all involved. Like we said at the top, it was the first webinar we've ever done in the mansion. So every question you guys have asked, every chat that you have chatted has been incredibly valuable. It'll inform how we did today and how we'll do tomorrow. And tomorrow is a figurative space of time because I don't believe there's a webinar tomorrow. Tomorrow might be in a few weeks. All right, folks. I don't think I'll get to another question before our scheduled stop time. So, just again, really can't express enough how grateful we are for you to have joined us. I personally can't express how grateful I am for Lamia, Shannon, and Jameson. They've done an unbelievably good job on fairly short notice, so we just really appreciate them. Um, yeah, you can feel free to explore the mansion whenever you would like, whenever it permits you. Um, there are a bunch of different rooms. You just click on the doors to walk around. You can click on the academy, on feature requests, on what's new. We are just actively trying to make this as amazing of a space as we can, and we rely on feedback from y'all to inform what's next for us. We really like your feedback. It gives us ideas. It makes us know what you guys like, what you don't. So please leave feedback, which again is to the bottom right of where it says Monday Work Management, right next to the bleachers where you're all sitting. And yeah, guys, thanks so much. That wraps up the webinar. Again, if you have questions left unanswered, support@monday.com, email us, and we are here for you always. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everyone, and enjoy lunch if that is what's going on here. Bye, guys.